Disclaimer, the comments made in this video are intended for entertainment purposes only and are not intended to offend anyone. Welcome back, folks. Today we are running through a rapid-fire lineup of moments where confidence ran ahead of preparation and reality showed up early. Buckle up, because this one is wall-to-wall instant reversals. So first up, we've got a woke protester who proudly flashes a slogan she clearly borrowed.
Your sign says fight fascism. What is fascism?
Fascism is the breakdown of a society.
Can you give me a definition?
I don't really know if I have to give you a definition because I know I feel violated against my government.
What are you fighting when you say fight fascism?
I'm fighting for how I feel, for others.
Specifically, do you feel?
Can you not hear it in my voice?
Are you gonna cry? Because I asked you to define a term on your sign.
I really don't need to speak to you.
And go turn that sign around. It actually says fascism. It's actually not even spelled right. So you're holding a sign that you didn't even make? You gotta spell check things before you hold them up, sister. That says fascism.
I'm sorry.
What is fascism? Actually, you know what? You don't even have to define fascism because that's not what you're talking about.
The confidence evaporates instantly. No definition, no clarity, just feelings, nerves, and a misspelled sign doing most of the talking. The other side barely has to push. Woke culture falls apart when asked to explain itself out loud. Next up is a woke student who starts strong, tossing out polished talking points like they came straight from a campus flyer.
So if you can identify with a different gender, why can't you identify with a different race?
The biological side of it, because race has no biological connections whatsoever. It's purely based off of physical appearances.
I just asked you if it was biological, you said yes.
Is recognized off of skin color. If you weren't that skin color your whole life.
Right, because it's biological.
Or I mean, sex has biological backings, but gender is not. Gender is a spectrum.
One simple follow-up and the whole argument starts eating itself. Biology matters, except when it doesn't. Definitions change mid-sentence. Confidence fades fast. Woke logic always collapses the moment it has to stay consistent. Now, here's a panel that leans on titles and credentials, hoping that shuts the conversation down.
Just curious of your definition. If you feel like people are adults at 16.
Well, people are adults at 18, but actually your brain is not fully developed until you're 25. So we should be having a conversation about whether we should even be doing these surgeries to people at 18. But certainly before 18, it's absurd. I mean, do you think that a 16-year-old can meaningfully consent to having their body parts removed? Do you? No?
We do not. Yeah, we ask the questions. It's not.
Can you give us a summary of your educational background? I'm just curious. You've testified as to a lot of your own research, so I'm curious for what purpose you do that and what background you have to qualify you to speak to that.
Well, my background that qualifies me to speak to this is that I'm a human being with a brain and I have a soul, and so therefore I think it's a really bad idea to chemically castrate children. That is my experience.
It backfires instantly. A simple question about consent hangs in the air, unanswered. Suddenly, no one wants to respond. When woke arguments hit real-life decisions, the confidence disappears, and common sense wins without raising its voice. This time, a woke activist starts off confident, convinced identity is whatever feels right that day.
Someone says, I'm now a woman. What does that mean that they are?
I don't know how to answer that.
Are you guys women?
I'm whatever I want to be.
Right, but are you a woman?
Not necessarily.
Oh, I'm sorry. What are you?
They, them.
Okay, so you're neither male or female.
I don't know what I identify as anymore.
Okay.
So
what have you identified as in the past?
She, her.
Would that be a woman?
Yes.
Okay, so you are a woman.
Sure.
Okay. Well, I guess you identify as a woman.
I don't want to answer this anymore.
Okay. Okay.
Bye.
Bye. See you later.
A few calm questions later, that confidence starts evaporating, the certainty fades, positions shift, and the energy drops fast. What began as bold self-assurance turns into visible hesitation. When clarity is required, the moment suddenly feels optional, and walking away becomes the exit plan. Coming up, a woke protester shows up masked and ready to scold authority, convinced he's standing on moral high ground.
What is your number one issue with Turning Point?
I don't have any comment on the issue.
Oh, so you're not protesting?
I'm just here supporting them as a volunteer.
Are you sick because you have a mask on? Are you sick or anything?
No, but I work in healthcare.
Do you support ICE agents covering their face?
No, I do not.
Why not?
If they're legitimately law enforcement officers, you'll notice the Phoenix PD doesn't cover their face. So why do they have to cover theirs?
They're not ICE agents.
Oh, so there's a difference.
There is a difference, yeah. So ICE agents and ICE officers are under different jurisdiction because assaults and violence against them has gone up 1,000%. Why is violence going up against them?
Yeah, that?
Because I think leftists lie about what they're doing and they want to hurt them and they want to hurt their families. Why are you hiding your face?
Protecting my face because I work in healthcare.
So what's the correlation? You don't want to be doxxed, do you?
No comment.
Right? Isn't that it? That's what ICE agents are doing. They don't want to be doxxed, just like you don't want to be doxxed.
The confidence lasts right up until the mask becomes the topic. Suddenly it's healthcare, privacy, and no comment. When the same rule gets applied back to him, the speech ends, the answers stop, and the walk-off says everything. In this next clip, activists show up ready to chant and posture. Convinced volume equals virtue.
And I can assure you that my 4-year-old and my 2-year-old daughters will not change in front of biological men. This is ridiculous. I don't care what party you are a part of. If you think that we are all equal and the same biologically, you've literally lost your mind. And when my 2 daughters work hard in the sport, work hard in their craft to be the best that they can be amongst other women, they will compete against other women. I owe Victoria and Olivia and every other young lady in this country that. If you think I'm wrong, I am not the problem. I can assure you.
Then a father starts talking about his young daughters, locker rooms, and fairness in sports. The message lands hard because it is clear. Woke culture depends on confusion, and moments like this cut right through the noise. Here, we've got an old lady who rolls in loud and confident, armed with cardboard signs and moral outrage.
Boycott Home Depot. Stop allowing ICE to hunt humans on your property. Are you familiar with the hired militia that they have in Iraq? Go around hurting people to keep the peace. They have guns. That's not a vocation. Anybody can do it.
I support what ICE is doing, and I think Donald Trump is doing a good job trying to solve the border crisis. I think single-handedly he has solved it, and I think that people who come across our border illegally, they should not be here. They have committed a crime, a misdemeanor of coming over illegally.
Jane, I'm done talking to you. Would someone please call 911? Back up. You're in my
Don't
space.
touch my stuff.
You're in
Do
my
not touch
space.
my stuff.
Get away from me now.
You're on a public
Get away
sidewalk.
from-
You guys are acting like dictators out here.
Away from me before I punch you.
She's on the phone with the police right now. It's just so funny. We don't allow ICE agents to come on Home Depot, but you want the police to come on a public street to what, arrest me?
Then a calm response lands and the whole act spirals. Pointing, shouting, threats, and a sudden call for police protection. The same crowd chanting against enforcement ends up begging for it when the script stops going their way. Now check this out. A straightforward question about men gets met with a verbal gymnastics routine.
Have you ever empathized or thought about how it feels to be a man and have the pressure of pursuing women and risking rejection?
Women face rejection every single day in the workplace. They get ridiculed for jobs if they're not wearing enough makeup or if they are wearing too much makeup. There are so many other things, and I think we need to just understand that everybody goes through their own levels of privilege and their own levels of discrimination too.
Empathy never shows up, but buzzwords do. The answer dodges, pivots, and lands on a totally different planet. Woke people treat listening like a threat, so they talk in circles until the point disappears, and everyone pretends that counts as depth. Here's a good one as a woke liberal comes in hot, tossing around the word diversity like it's a magic spell.
Shouldn't be here. Be on the sidewalk. And if diversity, you're against diversity, can I get personal? Isn't that's very diversified. You're a picture of diversity.
How so?
Look at you. Look at your makeup. If you want everybody to look like you, is that what you're looking? Oh, smile. Oh, it isn't giggle time. It's serious what you're doing.
Well, you know what else is serious? That you want me to be removed from public property, but you're standing on the same
I'm not
street.
being obnoxious. Of course, I am being obnoxious.
Yeah,
but
you
I'm not carrying a sign with a camera.
Yeah, you know what happened?
Yeah, I know. I don't want to talk to you. Go
No,
away.
tell me.
Go away.
No, I'm not going to go away. You made a point to look at me and say, I'm not a supporter of yours. And then you want me to be removed from public property. Tell me what happened the last time someone tried to do
So
that.
obnoxious. Okay, you're obnoxious. Go be obnoxious someplace else. Please, go away. She's a picture of diversity, but she's against diversity.
Keep pointing to all of me and complimenting my makeup. I want you to. Well, you like it when men dress like me, don't you?
One calm question later, and the mask slips, logic disappears, insults take over, and walking away becomes the exit plan. When the lecture turns personal and the logic runs out, walking away becomes the final argument. This time, a woke commentator fires off emotional claims, expecting applause instead of pushback.
Trump is putting his name on every single thing, and you want to normalize it like it's normal, tells me that you're the problem and not the solution. This man's mental acuity is off. He clearly is unstable.
Well, you guys were changing names of hospitals, parks, schools, streets, everything in the name of George Floyd. In fact, Wikipedia has an entire page called Lists of Name Changes Due to the George Floyd Protest. It is the longest Wikipedia page I've ever seen. I think it's really disingenuous, like they care so much about the Kennedy Center. I was there in 2023. The seats were stained. I literally sat down. I was like, is this wet? Is this fresh? The floors were dirty. So people who were running the Kennedy Center or who claimed to love and care about the Kennedy Center said nothing when it was falling into disrepair. And President Trump comes in, they are renovating. They are bringing people to come and see the arts for once. It was not that lively of an institution under the Biden administration. So don't pretend like you care about the Kennedy Center now when you were quiet when it was falling into disrepair.
Seconds later, facts line up and the outrage stalls. Sudden silence, no interruptions, no comeback. When receipts replace rhetoric, woke arguments lose their bite fast. Reality does not care about performative outrage or selective memory. Now watch how this one plays out. A woke activist tries selling the usual moral panic, confident the script will carry the moment, but it doesn't.
You know what really drives a lot of attention and makes people flock to the church? When a bunch of homosexuals are cruising down the street in assless chaps and big gay pride parades simulating sucking each other's. I would say that socially, you guys have gone out of your way to make it easy for us. The transing the kids, everything you could possibly do to make it easy for guys like me to come in and be like, no more of that. We're done with that. And for the rest of the country to be like, yep, you're right. We are done with that. Enough of that. The president of the United States actually has to give a presidential order saying there's only two genders. You guys overplayed your hand. And no, it ain't breaking up families. What's breaking up families is all the whining and crying that you can't be an chap simulating sex in the middle of the street. That's your social perversion. There's nothing wrong with us doing something about that.
Instead, a blunt response cuts through the slogans and ends the fantasy. The confidence cracks, the interruption fails, and the message lands anyway. Woke culture talks loud until someone says what everyone else is thinking, then suddenly it wants the mic back. Next, this woke claim sounds bold right up until it meets a few follow-up questions.
I feel safe because I'm white. It's the only reason why I feel safe.
How would you feel safe just because you're white? You really think they're just targeting brown and black people?
It's obvious.
Can you tell me how it's obvious?
Well, I'd have to bring up the statistics, but statistics show that non-white people are more likely, I don't know what the percentage is, I can't tell you until I look it up, much more likely to be detained by the ICE.
Why is that?
Because...
Where are the illegal aliens mostly coming from?
I'm not saying they're illegal.
Why is ICE detaining mostly non-white people?
I don't know.
Because illegal aliens predominantly come from non-white countries.
Nope.
I'm actually exhausted right now. Illegal aliens are not American citizens.
What you're saying may be true.
Confidence turns into guesswork, then into silence. Facts stay steady while the argument starts wobbling. No shouting required. Turns out it's obvious is not a statistic. Once the questions get specific, the certainty disappears and the story changes fast. Here, politics doesn't go their way, and the cameras catch total emotional freefall.
Senate race. It's not going to happen. Republican candidate will be returning to the Senate.
Guys, we literally don't even have to panic. We literally don't have to freak out right now. We don't even have to, we don't have to freak out. We don't have to freak out because it's not even real. Because recount the vote!
Guys, I just voted, and I chose family.
Let's end this reign of terror now.
I chose family. I chose women. I chose America. I love you.
We're moving on. I'm moving on. We're moving on.
I love all of this. Let's do it. Let's do this.
Crying, chanting, shaky speeches, and dramatic vows to keep believing harder. Facts never show up, but feelings run the whole broadcast. They cannot handle losing quietly, so they perform a meltdown and call it courage. This time, two woke answers compete to sound the most oppressed, but clarity never shows up.
Do you think that we should be focused in more on transgender women's voices now in the modern day society and, trying to uplift them more than other groups of women in the space? What are your thoughts?
Yes, in a way, because they do go through more. Trans women are
oppressed and stuff. I think they deserve, I don't know what I'm trying to say.
I think trans women of color should be uplifted the most just because they have the most oppression facing them.
And talk to me too a little bit about that. What are some of those oppressive things that they're facing?
It could just be like small, everyday microaggressions, or even as far as someone going and assaulting them on the street.
One person rambles, the other doubles down, and neither can explain the rule they want everyone else to follow. It is all feelings, labels, and vague fear stories. Woke people keeps talking until the question quietly wins. Up next is a protester who brought a bold sign but forgot the part where you actually know why you're mad.
What crimes have they committed?
Trump?
The ones in the Oval Office. What crimes have those people committed?
You want to look it up on Wikipedia? There's like a list.
Well, you made the sign, so I'm asking you.
I'm at a protest, though.
Yeah.
I don't need to know anything. I'm here for my community.
Confidence stays high until details are requested, then suddenly vibes replace facts. Accountability gets shrugged off like an optional add-on. Nothing says conviction like outsourcing your own argument to Wikipedia and calling it community work. Now, a woke member throws out a feel-good talking point, clearly expecting applause and a quick mic drop.
Do you admit that this country would be nothing without our rich history of immigration?
Well, I tell you what, and this is what's gone wrong. Because you talk about immigration, and it ran from after the war up until the millennium at net 30 to 40,000 a year. And yes, it worked. In fact, we had the most successful immigration policies of any country in the whole of Europe, no question. Now, it is so totally out of control. Just think about this. 2.5 million people have come in the last 2 years. You wonder why you can't get a house. You wonder why your rents have gone up 25% in 4 years. You wonder why our infrastructure is struggling. You wonder why we have to build a new house every 2 minutes just to cope with the numbers. And that's the issue. It's now running at numbers that are literally unimaginable and are diminishing the quality of life of everybody in this country.
Instead, reality shows up with numbers, timelines, and consequences. The slogans vanish, the room goes quiet, and suddenly feelings are no match for facts. Woke confidence fades fast when math and real life enter the conversation. Here's a good one as a woke student teacher walks in, grading presidents like it's final exams week.
If you could rate Trump's job so far, what grade would you give him? A through F?
I'm gonna give him a F minus. He's just not doing things correctly. People like me with disabilities that can't afford to eat.
So, but you are here at USF, right?
Yes. I'm a student here.
So how can you afford to go to school, but you can't afford like turkey and maybe a box of stuffing?
I am pulling out loans out of the wazoo.
Where are you a substitute teacher at?
Pasco County.
Have you heard about the school in Portland that's right next to the federal ICE facility that had to get shut down and move? Do you think that if they were peaceful protests, why would an entire elementary school have to shut down and move locations because it was unsafe for the students to go to school there?
Because of the ICE and how the police are running.
So it's the ICE agents' fault. It's not the Antifa members' faults that are throwing Molotov cocktails and threatening to shoot ICE agents. It's not their fault.
If it's people like those are the very minor outliers.
Then the questions turn practical about money, school, work, and responsibility. The confidence starts slipping. Every answer dodges just a little more until shrugging replaces explanations. Turns out handing out grades is easy. Explaining your own situation is where the lesson plan falls apart. And finally, we've got a woke heckler who thought insults were a substitute for substance.
I have a habit of embarrassing people online. Oh, I just wanted to ask you what you ate to yourself so badly at that frat party.
Taco Bell. What did you eat to get this figure?
Damn, girl. I hope you have a great day harassing students.
No, if you are so much smarter than me, why don't you stand up for what you believe in?
Because I know that you're a liar and I know that you put things on the internet to make people look stupid.
Are you afraid you'll look stupid?
No, I'm afraid that you'll look stupid.
Then prove me wrong. Make me look stupid. Own me in a debate. Let's see.
You're literally harassing students. You need to leave students alone.
Yeah.
Do not follow students when they walk away from you.
We're just walking together. You're filming me. I'm filming you. We're just kind of chit-chatting. Look really nervous. You had no trouble when students were standing alongside you to try and heckle me, try to, lie about me and make fun of me. The second I ask you for a conversation, you can't stand up for yourself.
The swagger lasts exactly until the energy gets returned. Suddenly the jokes stop landing, confidence drops, and the exit plan kicks in. Nothing exposes performative outrage faster than being asked to stand behind it without a script or a crowd. And just like that, the talking points run out. When arguments meet resistance instead of applause, the mood changes real quick. Like, share, and subscribe if you enjoy watching confident speeches turn into awkward silence. We will see you next time.